All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So there we go. My computer was having a moment there. Thank you all for joining us. It's our first webinar of 2026. And it's been a few months now since we've had our last one of the year, and we're so glad to have you all here. For those of you who are new, welcome. And for those of you who are some of our returning people who join us every month, welcome back. Okay, slides. There we go. All right. So as we get started, I just want to first thank you all for an incredible year last year. 2026 was, or 2025, I'm jumping ahead. 2025 was a wonderful year, and it was due to you guys, our volunteers, our boots on the ground, bringing this to your own communities to make this happen. And in 2025, we were able to place more than 3.1 million veterans wreaths at 5,594 locations nationwide. And that took 727 truckloads, 45 intermodal loads, which is what goes on the trains, and 4,801 boxes shipped UPS of wreaths that were delivered all across the country. And again, that was thanks to you guys out there getting the wreath sponsorships, organizing the ceremonies, placing those wreaths. So, pat on the back to everyone for helping us make 2025 such an incredible year. So next, we're just going to take a minute and we want to celebrate our top groups of last year. So each year, we like to highlight our top 20 groups nationwide. And then additionally, we will be sending out some emails highlighting our top 5 for each state. So the impact these groups made, they really led the way in the sponsorship growth. They didn't just meet their goals, they built, real momentum in their communities, and with that continual, steady, focused outreach, they really, succeeded. The work, behind the results is, the action that they put into play here. They reached out to local businesses early in the year, not just leading up to Wreath Day. They followed up with past sponsors using some of the messaging that we have in our system and, their own records. They set, simple monthly outreach goals of, this is what we're going to do each month, what we want to bring in, sharing the mission consistently on social media and in community groups, and making sure that they thank their sponsors personally to keep those relationships strong so that they continue to sponsor year after year. Um, and some of these groups are, it's not just about the size. It's about, the consistency. It's about the connection. It's about the effort that you're putting into this really, all year round. And we do have so many wonderful year-round programs that this is something that can easily be done year-round for fundraising benefits for yourself and helping get those re-sponsored for your cemetery too. So without further ado, our top 20 groups nationwide for the year, you can see them here. And this is something that we're going to be sending out over the next 2 days. You'll see something come from your regional liaison. It'll have the top 20 nationwide. It'll have the top 5 by state. And then we also have a list that has all the groups. So even if you're not the top 5 in your state, you still did a great job. And we want to recognize that. And you'll be able to see kind of where you are, ranked at there as well. On that report that will be coming out in that email, you'll also see some state statistics where you can see how your efforts impacted your state. So how many wreaths were placed at veterans graves in your state, how many participating locations you have in your state, how many participating groups you have in your state, and you can kind of see where you're at. And maybe even if you're like, oh, we only have 20 participating locations in our state, we have way more cemeteries than that. So what can we do to help spread that word and bring more on board? So again, you'll be seeing that email come out in the next day or two from your regional liaison team. So keep an eye on that for lots of information that you can really see, like where your group fell, the impact that you made, and also some of these other groups that just did an incredible job this year of, sponsoring, bringing in re-sponsorships and making sure that more veterans graves were honored last year than ever before. And now I'm going to pass it over to our Director of Communications, Amber, who is going to talk to us about this year's theme.
Thanks, Julie. Hi, everyone. And before we jump on that, just so everyone knows, there will be a template press release for groups to utilize. So that'll come in your email as well. So we'll be putting a national announcement out next Tuesday, the 17th, about our top 20 groups. And then, as we've done in the past years, we're going to systematically go through and do a state by state press release that highlights the top 5 groups from each state. So we'll be working on that through March, just so everyone knows, but that'll all be in your email as well. So definitely a good time to toot your horn and tell everybody what a great job you're doing as you're going into the spring. So that being said, yes, this year's theme, as everyone, if you're new here, welcome. But every year, Wreaths Across America does change our theme, and the mission remains the same. Remember the fallen, honor those who serve, and teach the next generation the value of freedom. But the theme is really it's an idea or concept that's designed to help rally the troops, right? To get everybody excited and kind of consistent with our message for the year. Over the over the last 20 years, we've had some really great themes that have resonated really well, and I think this one in particular, "Remember Me," is special. There was a lot of thought put into this. And the reason for Remember Me is really as we come into the 250th anniversary of our country, one of the things that just kept recurring theme that kept coming up in the past year was there's just so many service members who are laid to rest in this country that have no one to come and not only place a wreath, but even say their name, have no family to visit them. And these individuals served, they sacrificed, their family sacrificed, and they deserve to be remembered the same as our current living, our current loved ones do. And our goal with Wreaths Across America has always been to ensure that the memory of all those who serve this country continues to live on and that their stories are told. So that's really where this came from. Um, it kind of, Karen Worcester, our executive director, who I'm not sure, I didn't see if she was on here, Julie, I didn't see her, but if she is, please speak up, Karen. But one of the things she was actually sitting watching the movie Home Alone 2 with her 7-year-old grandson, Josiah. And the pigeon lady in the park said, maybe they don't forget about you, but they forget to remember you. And that really just kind of crystallized for her this thinking, right? It's this idea of, I think all of us collectively within the program do our best to remember everyone. It's a collective, veterans and their families, but the individual stories need to be told. And that's what Remember Me does. So who are we going to be honoring? We're looking to honor every service member who's laid to rest from the Revolutionary War to today, both known and unknown. The hope here is that our locations and group volunteers will really do make an effort to learn about those people that are laid to rest in their participating locations, and maybe do a little research into these individuals and help us to share those stories. You can change the slide, whoever's in charge, Julie. Um, so there's ways to do that. Obviously, every year we have a hashtag. This year is hashtag Remember Me. We encourage you as you're utilizing your own social media channels for your own locations and groups that are tied to Wreaths Across America's brand, that you utilize that hashtag whenever sharing stories about individuals who are laid to rest in your community. We have a Memory Fox campaign, which we've done these before in the past, and Kemery, oh, she's so fast. Camry just dropped in the chat. This campaign is basically a story page. It's a place where you can very easily just click on the link, and you can share the story of someone or someones who served in your community. We encourage you to look into those people who, might be the older headstones in your cemetery that are military, and do a little research. Share, maybe you can find their, where they came from, who their family is, where they served, and why. You can post a picture, you can post a little write-up, and you can very easily submit it on that page. Right now, we're getting a couple a week. We'd love to see a lot more engagement on these. We're sharing them daily on our, excuse me, every other day on the official Facebook page. It's a great way to highlight the heroes from your community, and make sure their stories are told. We're also highlighting, obviously, as always, Wreaths Across America Radio. It's a place where we can share stories. And if you have a unique situation in your cemetery or participating location or your community that you want to share, reach out to Wreaths Across America Radio to share that. We'd love to hear it, and hear about what the work that you're doing to encourage your community to honor those individuals. And then obviously, volunteering on Wreaths Across America Day is a great way. Many of the people on this call know more so than I do that there's an effort that takes place. A lot of these cemeteries don't have necessarily markers that identify people as military. It might require some legwork and some research. Work with your local community, historical societies or whatever it needs to happen to make sure that all those that are laid to rest in your community are properly recognized. And that's a great way to do that. And then of course, we encourage you to utilize the theme in everything that you're doing throughout the year. There is a template press release, and a toolkit on the volunteer resource page on our website, which kind of, shares a few more things, including template social media content that you can utilize in your pages as well. You can change it, Julie. Also, through the Teach program, which again, if you're not familiar with our Teach program, you can go to wreathsacrossamerica.org/teach. This is a free program and it's a curriculum for youth of all ages from kindergarten to 12th grade. And again, it's not necessarily about Wreaths Across America. There are some Wreaths Across America specific lesson plans, but it's about character development and service learning projects, and learning about military and civics and all kinds of really age appropriate things. But we are also doing a service learning project for classrooms specific to Remember Me. We actually have two going. One is really just about youth getting involved in their community and doing what I just talked about, which is going into the local cemeteries, finding individuals who served, and doing a little research on them, and submitting that story through our service learning project for classrooms. It's a great way for educators to, it's a project that can be done with your whole classroom. That could culminate around Veterans Day, where you're sharing stories of those who served in your community. We also have one that's specific to Maine because we're trying to capture stories of World War II veterans for Maine specifically for our World War II room at Wreaths Across America. So if you're from Maine and you're interested in that one, drop that in the comments and Kimber can give you that link specifically. But it really is, it's a great opportunity for educators to get your kids in your classrooms involved with their community. Reach out to your local VSOs and maybe they can partner with these groups to help identify and share the stories of those that are laid to rest in your community. I think, Julie, that's that. Oh, just kidding. I'm doing this one too. But if you have any questions about the theme, feel free to reach out to me at pr@wreathsacrossamerica.org. Like I said, all of the templated materials and toolkits are available on the volunteer resource page. And of course, we encourage you to utilize those and share with your local community as possible. Julie, you want to take a question or you want to hold off?
We can go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Rebecca. Just unmute yourself.
Forgot to unmute. I don't know if you're aware of it, but it's gotten some national attention, and this would be a really great tie-in. There is a cemetery in, I believe it's upstate New York, that takes credit for it, that being the first, what they called back then, Decoration Day, which became Memorial Day. And in Mississippi, that cemetery is near, or is in a town that has a college, and it has the state STEM honors school. And the STEM honors school is a part of their history curriculum. They take a class in their first semester of their junior year called Tales from the Crypt. And the staff has already kind of vetted the list of people, and they have to go out and find out about these people And then they do a program in the spring during the spring pilgrimage to tell the community about these people that are buried in that cemetery. And I think this Remember Me and Tales from the Crypt would be a real good partnership.
Sounds like it. Why don't you, Rebecca, if you don't mind sending me a note about that at pr@wreathsacrossamerica.org, I'd be happy to, we can connect with Cindy on the Teach program and see what we can't pull together there.
I will do that.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, great. Oh boy. Okay, we got more.
We're
Okay.
gonna go ahead and I think we got like 2 slides left and then we'll go into the questions so we don't, I probably
Okay,
should
so
not
don't,
have started.
sorry, so we don't want derailed because we don't have a whole lot going on. So, our year-round program. So this is the other piece of this. So Remember Me and the theme kind of ties into this bigger picture. So, one of the things that's really important as we think about Wreaths Across America, especially for our new folks, but honestly, for even folks who've been around for a long time, Wreath Day is an event. It's a big one. And it's one that we all work towards all year round to raise awareness and the funds necessary to honor those people that are laid to rest in our communities. But it's an event. The mission to remember, honor, and teach is truly year round. And this program and the $17 sponsorships that you bring in afford us the ability to offer many free programs that benefit you all and your communities and have so many opportunities to get your communities invested in the program. That includes our Teach program, which we were just talking about. If you have not taken a look at our Teach program, I highly encourage you to. It has such uh, really creative lesson plans. Cindy Tatum, who is a Gold Star mother, is our curriculum developer. There's over 100 lesson plans there. They're free to download. Um, and it really provides an opportunity for youth to get invested in service at a very young age. So definitely take a look at that. And there's always new things that are happening through there, whether it's our webinars, our mobile education exhibit, our museum, they all fall under the Teach program. Our mobile education exhibit has been off road for a little bit, getting some much needed updates and repairs. But hopefully we will be back on the road this spring. And that's a great opportunity to bring the mission to your community. It also serves as a welcome home unit for our Vietnam veterans, which is an incredibly important piece of our mission is to honor those individuals that were not welcomed home when they returned from Vietnam. Our Remembrance Tree program, again, if you're not familiar with this, this is a free program. You can submit the name of a loved one, and basically we'll pick a tree, or you can pick a tree if you want to come to Maine. And that tree becomes your loved one or your person that you served with tree. And all we ask is that every 3 years we can tip the branches to make veterans raise to honor our service members nationwide. We have over 20,000 dog tags on the tip land. And if you come, hopefully when it's not muddy, we can certainly find your tree for you and bring you out there. Um, and then of course, we have our Wreaths Across America's radio station. I think Jeff Pierce is on here, Wreaths Across America Radio. If you want to jump in, Jeff, at any point, you feel free, but it's a voice for America's veterans. We have over 115 aggregated veteran-centric and military-centric shows from podcasters all over the country. It's commercial free. It's your radio station. We are looking to share the stories of the work that you all are doing. It's a place to learn about the resources and opportunities in your community and nationwide with many of our partners. It's available free on iHeart. You can also get it on TuneIn or Odyssey or at wreathsacrossamerica.org/slash radio. If you have an event that's going on in your community that you're putting on for whether it be a fundraiser or um, a community program that's supporting military in your family or in your community, excuse me, or please reach out, Wreaths Across America Radio at no, WAA radio at wreathsacrossamerica.org. I think I can drop that in the chat. And we'd love to hear about it. Tell everyone about it. And then you can get that link and share it however you'd like. It's a great way to practice interviews because we're going to be super nice to you and make you feel good about it. So encourage you to do that. And Jeff, if I miss anything, feel free to raise your hand and tell me.
Good job. Proud of you.
Thanks. And then obviously resources for veterans. We have a whole page on our website dedicated to various resources for veterans and military families and caregivers. We partner with VSOs across the country. We have big news coming out this week with a new VSO partner, Veteran Service Organization. That's what that stands for. And these organizations continue to work with us and partner with us because of the many platforms that we have in terms of sharing stories and helping get the word out about their efforts, as well as connecting their resources to our volunteers and vice versa. So there's a lot of really good things, and these are just a few of the things that we have going on year round. If you're not sure ways that you can get invested and get your community invested now, please reach out. We'll be happy to talk through it. If we found that the more earlier people get invested, the more successful they're going to be come National Wreaths Across America Day, in terms of getting people involved.
Thanks, Amber.
Yep.
So for those of you who are not ready to roll for 2026, we just want to walk through a couple things to make sure that everyone is ready to go. First is you want to make sure you have reinstated. So each location and group are required to reinstate each year. If you're brand new this year, you don't have to worry about that because you're already signed up. If you participated last year, you should have received an email from your regional liaison team. If everything is the same, you can just quickly click on that link that says yes in there to confirm your information. If you need to make changes, you can communicate that with your regional liaison team. And the reinstatement process, it just allows us to confirm your contact information, address for shipping, wreaths, mailing payback checks, addresses for mailing payback checks, and shipping addresses for wreaths. Sorry, I got distracted because my AirPod died. Y'all still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. All right. So once we want to make sure that we can, confirm the information with you to make sure that everything is correct, because that's going to make the rest of the year go smoother if we have all that information up to date now. Once you are reinstated, you want to go ahead and log in now. Check your dashboard, make sure that you can, that your access is working. It's a lot easier to do that now as we get busier in the year. There's a little bit more of a weight to it because we have more people that we're working with. Once you log in, make sure that your information, everything looks good. Take time to customize your page to highlight your local efforts. You can do that by adding pictures. You can do that by adding text. Let people know about upcoming events that you have. Customized pages get more traffic than those that are not customized. So it only takes a few minutes. And with the new system updates that we did last year, it's super easy to customize those. You can see the way that it's going to look live. And if you need any help, you just reach out to your liaisons and they're happy to help you customize that page for you. So if you're a location coordinator and a group leader, it's really important to make sure you're reconnecting with your sponsors. For location coordinators, you're going to want to make sure, first of all, that you check with your cemetery and ask if there's any changes or feedback to incorporate into this year's planning. It's really important that we maintain a good partnership with these cemeteries because we are their guest and they could say, no, this wasn't worth it. It was too much work, whatever. We don't want to do it again. So always make sure you're checking in and keeping that relationship with them good and that we're doing everything that they need, of us to be those good partners. You also want to make sure you reach out to last year's sponsorship groups, and you can do that in the system through messaging, and thank them for their support and let them know that you'd appreciate their help again this year and start lining up, ways that you can incorporate those groups into your wreath day planning, because many hands make light work, and also making people feel included and a part of it is going to help you retain that growth year after year. If you're a sponsorship group leader, you're going to want to make sure that you connect with your location coordinator, offer to help with planning, and share what you're doing for your community outreach this year so they kind of know what's going on. Also, want to start reaching out to local businesses, applying for grants, as many organizations are setting up their budgets at the beginning of the year. And using that messaging system to message your previous sponsors. A lot of people took advantage of our messaging updates that we made last year. We have the highlighted campaigns, which make it really easy to send messages throughout the year. And just to reconnect with those sponsors to say thank you. You know, you can go in there and send thank yous to those who sponsored wreaths, and it goes a long way to retain those sponsors year after year. You can also go in and you can resend their order. So if they ordered last year but they haven't yet this year, it's easier than ever before to quickly send a message through the system for them to repeat their order. So it has a reorder link in it, so their order from last year is already populated. So especially if you have grave specific requests, it makes it so much easier for them because they don't have to fill out all that information again. It has the information in there from last year. They click on the link and it populates their cart for them. There's more information on all of those different features of our pages on our volunteer resource page. You can see different tutorials, and the system is pretty good about walking you through it as well. And as always, if you have questions or need help, you can reach out to your regional liaison team and they are happy to help you. So the cutoff dates for this year, obviously Wreath Day is going to be December 19th. And we have, different cutoff dates for each region. This year for region 1, 2, and 5 is going to be December 2nd. And then for region 3 and 4 is December 1st. So not a huge difference, but in that AirPod. Apparently, I should have charged my AirPods, guys, because they're all dying on me. So hopefully, this will. I have to get my microphone a little closer.
We can hear you.
Okay, good. So not a huge difference there, but it is just make sure you note your region's cutoff date. And as we get closer to the cutoff date, you will get emails from us with, what to expect regarding cutoff date this year. And then I did just want to take a minute to highlight our locations and groups team. We do have a few changes. So we this year, last season, we actually added Molly Nunley on our team. She's kind of helping do customer service stuff for our department and working with all the different regions. So if you go into help desk or if you're, chatting with us through the system, you're probably going to get to talk to her. You're going to hear her on the phone. So now you can put a face to her name when you're talking to her. And then we also have a new Region 4 liaison. So last year we did have Patricia. She was by herself through season there. So all of our Region 4 people who are on the call, you'll be happy to know that we do have Ricky Long, who is joining us in Region 4. And she's still completing her training this week. So once she is all done, we'll send an email out welcoming her specifically to that region. All right, and now we're just going to go ahead and open it up for anyone who has any questions. You can raise your hand or unmute, and we will work through all your questions.
I think Greg B had a question. If you want to go, Greg, your hand was up earlier. If you want to unmute.
I think you're muted, Greg.
Well, we figured that out. You can go ahead, Monica.
There you go. Okay,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
I got two different mute buttons. Sorry. I jumped on the memory fox, and I've got a couple of photos and a Word document I'd like to upload. So when I go in there and I do the start, I get the next screen, which I can upload content. But the thing is that it's asking me for access to my camera, which it doesn't need. But then I notice upload the file is grayed out. So I get to the next one, have to upload video and image files. I put my first image file up there, and then I get stuck as far as how do I put up my next image file and then my Word document.
You know what I'm going to have you do, Greg? I'm going to have Cameron, if you don't mind dropping your email in the chat, we're going to go and we'll send you kind of a step by step because I have to look at it to see what exactly is
Okay.
happening, if
All
that's
right.
okay. So I
That's
apologize if
fine.
you're having a hard time, but yeah, we'll want to you'll want to copy and paste your Word doc in there. But if you drop your email in the chat, Camry, we can go ahead and touch base with you and get that figured out.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next question I have is that we have like there's only 255 souls in our cemetery, and I'm finding out that other people are starting to ride on our coattails, and they're basically getting replaced. They don't come and place them, but they're really, we're a veterans organization. We started this so that we can get money to do other good things for veterans, and they're kind of taking away from our ability to be successful there, to the point where we've got like a 50% decrease in revenue from our program from last year to this year, from 2024 to 2025. So
Are
I'm
they,
just con go ahead.
is it a group that's also working with Wreaths Across America? Is it another
Yes,
organ?
they are. Yes, they are. They're ID 0012P. I don't know who they are.
Well,
Well, I mean, ultimately the goal is we all want to work together to make sure the most number of veterans are, being honored. If they're getting less free sponsorships, I would definitely want to, just look to see what we can do to support you both, to continue furthering the mission for both of you. And there's plenty of cemeteries, so there should be plenty to go around for everybody. So I'm going to encourage you to actually reach out to your regional liaison so that we can have a more one-on-one conversation and kind of get into the details of what's going on there.
All right, I'll get in touch with Pat or Ricky.
All right. Thanks, Greg.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. Monica, you had a question?
I did. Thank you. I'm part of Region 5 with Daughters of the American Revolution, Nathaniel Massey chapter. We have, I see Rochelle sent the December payback checks. Finished mailing last week. My registrar says we received our payback check, but we still have Connie Meyer as the recipient of that, and I need to get that changed to my name because Connie passed away November 2025, and I'm stepping in her place. So how can I get that reimburse payback check to change to my name?
So that is something that your regional liaison team can help you with. And I believe Annie and Claire are both on. So I'm going to assume that they got your information from what you just said. If not, they'll drop something to you in the chat. They can get that taken care of for you.
Thank you. I might send them an email too if I don't hear from you, Annie, before then. Thank you.
Thanks, Monica. Rebecca, you got your hand raised?
Uh, could you repeat the name of the person I need to send the information about Tales from the Crypt?
you can send that to me, Rebecca, and I think we dropped it in the chat, but it's PR@wreathsacrossamerica.org. Kemry just dropped in the chat too. You can just send that over.
C as in Charlie, R as in Robert.
P as in Paul, R as in Robert.
Okay. PR.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I think Jerry B, did you have something?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm new with the program, trying to energize this through the Knights of Columbus in the state of Indiana.
Welcome.
Oh, awesome.
I've got a annual convention coming up next month. I'd just like to know, is there a kind of pre-done PowerPoint that explains this year's program that I can just download and present it as is? Is there any clearance for that, or can I just go to the site, volunteer site, and download it?
Yep. So on our volunteer resource page, which if it's not in the link, I'm sure someone will drop it. If we have lots of material there for you to use for events, and we do have a general Wreaths Across America PowerPoint presentation that you can use for events like that. And if you need anything more beyond that, reach out to your regional liaisons and we can help provide you with that.
And I'm just going to pop in real quick here that presentation on the volunteer resource page, it will be updated for 2026 by the end of this week. We had to wait for a couple things to come through. Now we're ready to get that final draft uploaded. So you'll see it in a couple days.
That sounds great. That was my question. Thank you.
Yep.
Terry, you can go ahead.
Hi, I'm new to this also and just trying to figure out the Facebook page. Somehow we have two, and I'm not sure how to get rid of one. That's one question. But the other one is it asks for a web page, and I guess I'm not sure what we have to do for a web page. And then I had asked what we put for our donation page. And somebody sent me like a link, but it's really long. And is that what we actually put on our Facebook page?
So for your like the what you're sharing for your like sponsorship group page or location page, use what we call the short link, which is like www.wreathsacrossamerica.org, and then backslash and then your group ID. And that's when you log in, you can see that in your welcome email, you should see that. But as far as like the specifics for Facebook, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know the answer to that, but I know someone who does. So we have our social media gal. Samantha Clark. Someone can drop her email in the chat for me, I'm sure. She can help you with that because that's kind of her area of specialty, and I do not claim to know all that. So she will get you taken care of and on the right path.
Yeah,
Okay.
Terry, I just dropped Samantha's email in there. That being said, we are, if you are on Facebook or on Meta, I highly encourage you to join Wreaths Across America's closed sponsorship group or location group that we have specifically for locations and groups. We have two groups that are closed groups, and you have to be a location coordinator or a group leader to be a member of those groups. And you can ask lots of questions in there, and we can help you out. But Sam will get you all set up and everything you need. We'll go through it step by step. But on the volunteer resources page, there is a guide for setting up a Facebook page. So,
And I actually did that, and
okay,
I think that's how come I got two because somebody else a
okay.
couple of years ago had set one up. But the one I set up, I think, is through Wreaths Across America.
Okay. Yeah, we can also go in and once you connect with Sam, we can either take down the other one or or work with Meta to get that fixed. So she can work
Okay.
directly with Meta. So no worries there. But Sam is the best person to talk to. And she'll get you all good to go.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you, Terry. Welcome.
Thank
Anna
you.
did just drop the links in the chat that's to those private Facebook pages where you can go on and request. And again, if you're a location coordinator, you can join the location one. If you're a group leader, you can join the group one.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
great place to ask questions. They're closed groups. You have to be a registered location coordinator or a registered group leader to participate in either of those groups. The team, the
How do you
liaison.
get to be that?
Well,
Well,
if
you're
you're on this
that busy
call, you're
here.
probably one. You're probably a group leader if you're on this call, Terry.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Well,
Ennis is the group leader. I
Are
don't
you
know
like
where he is,
so?
but
Are you working with them?
yes.
We'll get you on there. If as long as you're working with your group leader, they'll get you on there.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, hi,
Yeah.
this is Claire.
Oh, go ahead.
My question is about the day poster. I mean, I remember last year getting one in an email where it had, our site code on it and our QR code. I
Mhm.
don't remember getting that for this year.
Have you did you fill out your reinstatement email that
Yes. Yep.
have you already gotten your reinstatement email back where they say, thanks, you're set up for this year?
I think I did.
Okay, if you did, it should be in there. If you haven't gotten that yet, it might be they just haven't gotten to process it. At the beginning of the year, we do have a very big response to everyone reinstating, so it does take some time. In the meantime, if you need it because you're like, hey, I'm ready to go. Let's go. Get me this form. You can reach out to your regional liaison team, and they can send that over to you now.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm. Kim, you had your hand raised if you want to go ahead.
Hi. I'm sorry if this was already asked and I blanked out and didn't hear the answer. Um, um, will we always have a group page and a location page?
So yes, there's always going to be the location page, and then you have the group pages that all roll up into the location they support. So if you are a group leader and a location coordinator, you're always going to have those two pages. But as a group leader, you're always going to want to direct people to go to your group page because they can see the location information from there, and that way you can make sure that your group is getting credit for those wreaths.
Right. So so last year we did have quite a few that ended up finding our location page and signing up through there. So we didn't get the, the pay it forward type of thing that we had signed up as a sponsor group. So I don't know what to do to eliminate that kind of confusion.
So you're always going to have some that come through your regular location page, and that's because
Okay.
as an organization, we do a lot of media and outreach. Like we have all these programs that we're doing all year long that it's going to drive people to come find a location near them to support. Now, if it's someone that you're looking through your dashboard and you see that name and you're like, that's my neighbor that I told about this and they didn't sponsor through my group, you can reach out to them and say like, hey, did you want to support my group? On their email, if they do it an online order, there's a link right in their email where they can request a change and request the group ID to be added. It's really easy to do. And if they did like a check that they mailed in, they can still do an order correction. They just need to contact us and let us know that they did want to get your group credit for that.
In the messaging, I tried to utilize the messaging system last year and made sure anybody who sponsored Wreaths, I made sure there was a thank you sent to them through the system. Through the system, is there a way to remind people and to just say, hey, use this link if you want to sponsor again this year? So that they're looking at the group rather the location.
Yeah, the one thing you want to be careful of though is as a location coordinator, if you have multiple groups that are supporting, you don't want to put your group link in there because like if they're supporting another group, you don't want to be taking their sponsorship. So it's just
Right.
something to be, aware of when you're doing that. But you can certainly, like, hey, these are our groups that support our location if you want to take a look and support one of them.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Does anybody else have any questions? All right. Well, you guys were a good crowd today for our first webinar of 2026. We're very excited for this year. Thank you all for your hard work last year and for all of our new folks that joined us. We're excited to work with you this year. It's going to be a great year and lots of exciting things to come. So we hope to see you all on our next webinar in April.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks all. Have a nice day.
Bye.